Have you ever heard of Medusa? That monster from Greek mythology with snakes for hair, capable of turning anyone to stone with a single glance. A legend, of course. But what if I told you there's a place on Earth so deadly, it could literally turn you into a stone statue? This isn't a landscape from another planet. This is the infamous Lake Natron in Tanzania, a place of strange and deadly beauty. What makes its waters so dangerous? What kind of creatures manage to survive here? And the burning question, could you survive if you fell in? Before we take the plunge, let's understand what Lake Natron is made of. Just like the Dead Sea, it has no outlets to rivers or oceans. This means all the water that arrives from the salty desert rain gets trapped, slowly evaporating and concentrating an insane amount of minerals. But what makes it especially lethal is its neighbor, the active volcano, Ol Doinyo Lengai. This isn't your average volcano. It spews a rare lava rich in sodium and potassium carbonate, called natrocarbonatite. This material, known as natron, flows directly into the lake. And this is where it gets interesting. This mixture of sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate was one of the key ingredients used by the ancient Egyptians to mummify their pharaohs. Natron creates the perfect preservative, but on the scale of an entire lake. The result? The water's chemical composition is extremely alkaline, with a pH of 10.5, almost the same as ammonia. It's this alkalinity that gives the lake its signature red and pinkish hue. Any animal that dares to take a dive and doesn't make it out meets a gruesome fate. It becomes calcified, turned into a hard, petrified husk. In 2013, photographer Nick Brandt documented this terrifying phenomenon. When the waters receded in the dry season, he found birds and other animals turned into statues of salt. His theory? The lake is so mirror-like and reflective that birds likely flew straight into it as if it were a giant glass window. But wait a minute. Amidst so much death, one animal doesn't just survive, it thrives. Lake Natron is a flamingo paradise. Its toxic waters act as a fortress, protecting them from predators and making it the perfect nursery. How do they do it? Adaptation. Flamingos have tough skin and scaly legs that protect them from chemical burns. To drink, they use fresh water from springs and geysers at the lake's edges. And if things get desperate, they have special glands in their nasal cavities capable of filtering salt from the water. Their super tough stomachs even allow them to feed on the toxic algae that flourish there. Okay, so if flamingos can handle it, why can't we? Well, this is where things get ugly for us humans. Depending on the time of year, the water temperature can reach a scorching 60 degrees Celsius, or 140 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot enough to cause third-degree burns in less than 5 seconds. And don't even think about a graceful dive. The lake is shallow and filled with salt structures as sharp as blades. You wouldn't turn to stone instantly, but the mere contact with the water would be agonizing. Your eyes and any cuts on your skin would burn like fire because of the alkalinity. And what if you drowned? If your body remained submerged, the calcification process would begin. The extremely high alkalinity prevents decomposition. If someone found you hundreds of years later, you'd be frighteningly preserved, perhaps still with hair and intact organs. A modern-day mummy. It sounds impossible to survive, right? But in 2007, the unbelievable happened. A helicopter carrying a film crew crashed directly into this chemical cocktail. The pilot broke his leg, another passenger fractured their hip. It seemed like the end. Incredibly, one of the passengers managed to crawl to the shore and get help from members of the local Maasai tribe. They acted quickly, built makeshift stretchers and carried the injured to safety, just in the nick of time. So yes, it is possible to survive a dip in Lake Natron. But, honestly, I'd stick to a swimming pool. The story of Lake Natron shows us how the harshest environments on our planet can be a sanctuary for some species and a deadly trap for others. It's a brutal and beautiful reminder of the power of nature. So, did you enjoy this trip to one of the world's most dangerous places? Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment on what other extreme location you'd like us to explore next. See you then.